And we are back with episode 3. Already at episode 3. Tonight we're going to talk about our favorite actors. Before we get into that, we got a couple other things we kind of wanted to talk about with
In
different
in this episode, foe.
into episode. Uh, we wanted to kind of talk about different movies that have been coming out and people talking, complaining that the box office numbers are down. Um, we kind of want to give our thoughts on it because we both agree that you can't really, and this kind of goes. We've talked about this on our other channel, on the Instant Classic Wrestling podcast, where you can't really go on ratings, you can't really go on box office sales anymore with how the world has changed with everyone streaming things and waiting for movies to come out on streaming. But anyway, I'll let Adam kind of kick this off because he wanted to talk about it as well.
Well, yeah, and by the way, thank you for bypassing my question. By the way,
What was your question? I
I
usually
I,
don't
I,
have that.
I'm clearly this. He's folks. He's already booted me off the call. He always
I
ignores
did not.
me.
I did not.
Let
I,
I said it. Let the record show.
also, I'm pretty sure this is episode 3.
We had the introduction. Then we had the movies. And then we had the televisions. And
Oh,
now
maybe
we have.
I don't know. I'm not the tech guy. That's usually DJ, but he's not on the show.
But he's not part of the show, so you can't use that as an excuse.
I can still use that as an
I
excuse.
mean, I mean, granted, we could the first one, I guess, can be the thumbnail. So I guess it's
I
three.
said this was 4. I said it was episode 4. I said that.
My God, my God, help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope. Now, anyway, no. So Casey sent me a video. It was a TikTok of a guy that was talking about the new Buzz Lightyear movie, and supposedly it's not doing gangbusters at the box office. Yeah, that sucks, but at the same time, I think in this day and age, right now, it's regardless of what people will tell you, we are still in a pandemic. Yes, things have loosened up, which is cool. Like I've been to the theaters a handful of times now, but I still think there are people that, and I've talked to people, there are people close to me that are still do not want to go because of the outrageous prices, which I can understand that. Plus, in this instance, and this is what the gentleman had brought up, you saw the trailer for Buzz Lightyear, and you might have had the feeling of like, do I really, really, really want to go see this in the theaters right now? And this is even, especially now, if you have kids, since that's pretty much the demographic. The movies are turning around so quickly to Disney Plus now that this is one where you could say, I'll wait. I'll wait the couple weeks till it gets on there and I'll check it out for myself. Now, indirectly, yes, you are still, quote, paying for it because you're paying for your subscription, but nonetheless, it's $5 a month for your subscription as opposed to $5 for a drink at the movie theater on top of all the other things that you get. So I think it's a little misleading anymore that, well, it's doing the shits at the box office. Oh, well, okay, like, but compare that to other movies that are probably getting some steam, but doesn't do gangbusters at the box office, but it's still being received well. And I think in that same video, the guy had mentioned Encanto didn't do jack shit in the theaters, but it's a major phenomenon. And it's a great movie too, for all that's worth. Um, so I think a lot of times, like back, past 2 years ago, 2019 on back, that was a barometer. How's it doing? How's it doing in the box office? And I'm not Rotten Tomatoes guy. Just FYI. That is the most pretentious yuppie site there is, because so many people will say, well, it's got 98% of Rotten Tomatoes. All right, cool. But per, like, you have to look at like the actual quota of what is being set there. What's the curriculum, based on blank amount of people. And it's always, again, it's like Meltzer's fucking Observer. 67% of people voted that such and such was match of the night. Yeah, based out of a subscription base of what, 50 people? I mean, that's not a barometer. It's a barometer to the people that have subscribed to you, who pay to get this said service. So I don't know. I think I think people just sometimes need to just back off a little bit when they see something's not doing well. And then, even for that matter, the other way, if it's smashing at the box office, it may not be the best movie. Like the later Transformer movies, Age of Extinction and The Last Night, made over $1 billion. They're not the best movies. I'm entertained by them, but that doesn't mean that they're, superb flicks. But that also, I guess, comes into your depiction of, well, what's the best movie? The one that wins the most awards or makes the most money? Now, the movies that make the most money aren't always the best movies. And the ones that win, like, best picture and et cetera, aren't always the best movie. It's not like in the 60s and 70s where the the movie that won best picture was an important movie, but everybody saw it. Now that's, the barometer has changed. But anyway, yeah, but in terms of the subject matter that guy was talking about in that video, is there are certain elements that's probably going to upset a certain base of the public, albeit people that are not pretty much into the pride stuff, and people that are, two men kissing or two women kissing. And are they out there? Yes, there is. But I think that is more of what the holdup is, in terms of people just running out to see it, is not everything is going to be something you want to jump to the theater to go see. Like, I wanted to see Batman in the theaters. Glad I did it. This one is something that I can just sit on until it comes on Disney Plus.
Well, and there's a couple things that I'm going to bring up that you kind of brought up, but as like, and I heard about the, like, I guess there was like a same sex kiss or something in Buzz Lightyear. It's the same. People freaked out over the live action Beauty and the Beast because one of the characters was gay. Now, granted, that wasn't a great movie in general. I didn't think it was a great movie in general.
I liked the live action Beauty and the Beast.
I like the animated
I
one.
like the cartoon more, but I did dig this one.
Yeah,
And
I mean, it wasn't terrible. I just, like, it wasn't something I needed to go see.
of course, yeah, and we
Yeah,
saw it in theaters, but
yeah,
just real quick, and just for what it's worth, LeFou is
yes,
is
and
purely
yeah,
purely gay, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter in that sense. Like, LeFou was still that bumbling simpleton that was infatuated with Gaston, but guess what? He was also his conscience.
yeah. Well,
He's like, you can't do this, Gaston. You're going too far.
yeah. Well, and then there's other things, especially like with Disney. I don't think, especially with Disney, I don't think you need to freak out about, oh, this movie didn't do well in the theaters, blah blah blah, or this one didn't make money in the theaters. Disney is going to make money hand over foot no matter what. If one movie doesn't do well, guess what? They're making money at their theme parks. They're making money with toy sales. They're gonna make money with DVD sales. Disney makes so much money, it is insane. Even during the pandemic, because kids were, they still were getting subscriptions for Disney Plus. Kids were still buying toys and all this stuff. So it's like, yeah, one movie can kind of bomb, or not do as good, it's gonna be fine. Um, and like for me, I went to go see the new Jurassic World movie. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't anything, I, I don't think you need to go out and see it. Like if you're not a huge Jurassic World fan or Jurassic Park fan, you can wait until it comes on streaming. Again, I was talking to Adam about it, and I thought it was a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think more so with nostalgia because they had a bunch of the originals coming back. But at the same time, if you break it down, it was the same movie, as the past ones. The dinosaurs get loose, blah blah blah. Oh no, people are. Somebody mentioned if it had just been a movie about the dinosaurs, if you didn't have any humans in there, if it was actually what it was presented as in like the advertisements and stuff, oh, there's dinosaurs running through neighborhoods and blah blah blah. If it had been that, awesome. I want to see what a T-Rex is going to do, in New York City. I want to see what velociraptors are going to do in this suburban area. That's not what it was. It's another fucking island. Like it's the same shit we've seen over and over again. So I like you don't
Well,
need to wait.
thanks for spoiling it.
Were you really surprised? Were you really surprised? And then I went to go see the Bob's Burgers movie just because I was curious. But like again, I don't need to go out to see the Buzz Lightyear movie. I don't. I had if you gave me a list of 5 possible movies that Disney could come out with, the origin story of Buzz Lightyear or what the toy was based off of would not be a movie that I would pick. I'm sorry. I would rather see the actual toy, like Toy Story, the actual toys.
Well, you've also heard the outcry that is out there too, don't you?
What's that?
I mean, aside from well, to finish off at the box office thing, at least on my end, that is another that's another angle that people are out there that hate the fact that Disney did this, but at the same time, it's like that's their justification for see what happens when you do that shit. You tank. But no, that's not it at all. That's not it at all. I mean, again, people. I remember people losing their minds when that musical um, of the Little Mermaid, and people were up in arms about Ariel's black. What are you? You're worrying about the nationality of a fictitious being. It's like the Doctor Doolittle thing I remember it was a comedian Josh Sneed said that went and seen Doctor Doolittle 2 with somebody that he was dating, and he goes, oh my God, this movie is ridiculous. You got to be kidding me. They would never let your spouse defend you in a court of law. This movie's dumb. There there have been talking animals throughout this flick, sweetheart. So again, like the battles that people take is funny. And I was about to say, if you were looking at me right now, I mean, I know you're not. You're looking at my avatar, but I'm like, if you are gonna shit on Bob's Burgers, I will fight you because that's the next thing I want to go see in the theaters is the Bob's Burgers movie. Ding ding, da ding ding, da ding ding, da ding ding.
No, I liked it. I mean,
Good, 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 good.
it's what you would expect. It's an extended episode, but it was good. I liked it. I was excited for it because I love Bob's Burgers. I want a Family Guy movie, but whatever.
Well, I mean, you got the Star Wars parodies. They're extended episodes per se.
I mean, true, it's true, true.
Something, something, something. Dark side. That's why every time when we go to Universal Studios, we stay at the Dockside, DOCKSIDE hotel. And I did that video this last time. People said, "You are so stupid." It's right there. It's right there for the taking. Don't think that I'm not going to take that opportunity.
Right.
But anyway, what I was going to say is that people are losing their minds that Tim Allen did not do the voice of Buzz Lightyear.
Oh my god.
Now, here's the thing. This movie is portraying, like, this is supposed to be the movie that Andy saw that made him want to get a Buzz Lightyear figure.
Yeah.
But that is also saying that, like, they are portraying a quote real person, quote unquote. It doesn't matter in that regards who the hell voices it. Besides, if you're going to portray a real person, how can you realistically portray Buzz Lightyear? You can't have a 69-year-old do it. And I love Tim Allen to an extent. Like, good stand-up comedian. Loved him on Home Improvement. Certain little personal quirks about him that made me rethink him a little bit, but that's besides the point. But anyway, it's like, you can't have a guy that is, almost 70 years old play somebody who's quote young. It doesn't fit. So that's why you have Chris Evans, who guess who he was? He was Captain America. Kind of fits the mold. So again, like, the outcries that people have is just, it's just silly to me.
Yeah, it's always the stupidest thing that people have issues with. Like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, and this is more in like live action, movies or TV shows when they recast a character, that bothers me. Uh, but like, especially with Toy Story, wh- you don't need the same. Come on, come on, it's fine, it's fine.
Tech. Sorry.
It's yeah. But anyway, uh, shall we move on to our list?
I've got a little list. I've got a little list.
So are we doing our top five and then our five honorable mentions?
Sure.
You you said five in the chat, and I'm like, but that's hard to narrow down. It was hard enough down to 10.
Hence why I said 5.
That's so much harder. I want easy.
But 5's easier than trying to do 10, just because, like, I can give you, to me, the definites. But I also don't want us to, number 6 on to be like, that guy in that one movie where he does the thing.
Rick Moranis.
You shut your filthy whore mouth. Don't talk about Tony Khan like that.
How dare you disrespect the name of Rick Moranis like that?
By the way, speaking of Rick Moranis, because I've watched part 1 of the George Carlin documentary on HBO. If anybody is a fan of George Carlin, watch this. Rick Moranis is a flawless George Carlin impression.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh, it's great. And kind of as a teaser, if anybody wants to thank somebody that like unlocked George Carlin, it is Cheech Marin.
Okay.
So anyway, shall we begin?
We shall begin. You know what? Since you want to do 5, I'm gonna let you start it off because now I gotta.
So you're telling me that you can't take your 5, like, these are absolutes.
I'm working on it.
We what we're saying is we come up with these lists an hour before we start recording.
But I've had this list for a while. It started with like 30. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's too much. That's too much.
And then I narrowed it down.
Yeah, there's I am probably the biggest fan of like supporting actors, but a lot of those guys eventually became stars, like a Kevin Spacey, like heck, even somebody like a Baldwin, Wahlberg, Damon, stuff back in the day. Like they eventually became nice little stars. But I mean like this is the ones you've watched the most times, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. I almost got it. I'm close. I just have to. Yeah. But no, I'll let you go for it. Ladies first.
All right, bitches last. Um, no, I'll just because he's more contemporary, from the news lately, whatever. And I know this might be sacrilege.
I I am gonna do one honorable mention.
Yes, DJ. You only got 95 more.
I'm not DJ. No, and then I think my honorable mention is who you were about to name.
He's not in your top. Wow.
I have you know what? No, you're right. You're right.
I
You're
was
right.
and I was about to
I looked
I
at
was
it and I was like, no, I eliminated one. No,
I,
you're right.
I was going to be a dick to me. Like you heard it here, folks. Neil Patrick Harris is not one of his favorite. Don't be messing with Doogie Howser like that. Hmm. Anyway, no. So first off, start off, Johnny Depp number 5. I mean, just for Pirates of the Caribbean alone, like I could end it there because like I said, like me and the wife, we've especially within the last handful of months, whatever, that we've been watching all of the pirate movies just on loop. Because they're so awesome. But again, a guy that literally, to me, he's a better version of Robert Duvall. Again, can play any character, and is great at it. And by the way, Amber Heard, it's not a flex when you say that you talking about the lawyer that's defending the guy that tried to convince the world that he had scissors for hands.
Okay.
It's like, yes, just like we were to believe that you were an underwater queen or whatever the fuck you were.
I, when she said that, I was like, what?
That don't make no sense. You
We all
what
know it was a movie.
so wait a minute. You're telling me that Arnold Schwarzenegger is not actually a robot underneath that skin? I mean, you think about it. He got shot a bunch of times and it barely even scratched the surface. I mean, he literally just you saw a little bit of the skeleton underneath and boom.
Every,
But
every time you do the boom, I expect boom, tough acting.
tough acting to actor, but I'm like, how do I incorporate him? I'm just gonna throw it in there. But I mean, trivia question. I mean, this will be for the true marks out there for Johnny Depp like myself. What was Johnny Depp's first full length feature movie? You disappoint me, sir.
I'm waiting for you to
N-
tell
n-
me.
No,
So
I'm waiting for you to be like, I give up. Yeah, 1984.
I knew that.
No, that's not the name of the movie. I'm
Ah,
I'm simply
hey,
I'm simply giving you the year. Horror movie.
you sound like you're underwater again. Just so you know.
So do
Uh
you.
oh well. We can't figure the audio. We don't know. Uh
StreamYard sucks.
yes, it does. Uh, I don't know. I don't.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, he is the one that gets sucked under, gets sucked into the bed, and then the 80 million gallons of blood comes gushing out.
Oh shit. I okay. Wow.
Yeah,
All right.
he's a baby. He's a baby in that. I mean, just in terms of age, he's
Yeah.
so young. You're like, you mean to tell me that this is going to be one of the biggest stars in Hollywood? Yes, it is. Even more so. Again, my birth year, he's in Platoon. Like I think people like overlook that. Like he is in freaking Platoon for God's sakes. Arguably one of the greatest war movies ever. To me, the best Vietnam movie, and I will fight anybody on that. Uh, um, like I think his best performance, and again, like Pirates of the Caribbean deserves its own mountain, so that's why I can't just single that out, whatever though. But it just and besides Pirates of the Caribbean, to me, his best performance ever is Donnie Brasco. And I know people go to go to Blow, or I'm trying and Edward Scissorhands, stuff like that. Sweeney Todd. I mean, he has an eclectic catalog of movies. Like I even like Nick of Time, like really off the wall movie from like 1995. That's good stuff. We don't we don't talk about the astronaut's wife. That's not good. That's not good. But yeah, I mean, like Depp to me is one of the goats. And next year, I don't care what it is. If if someone's going to get him in a movie this year, give this man an Oscar. It still kills me that he's not had one yet.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. Um but anyway, my number 5 is also going to be Johnny Depp. Um
Yes.
I'm going to be honest, and I've seen the majority of his movies. There's not one I can't think of one that I didn't like enjoy. Um I have not seen The Astronaut's Wife, so I can't. But
You're better for it.
okay. But like you said, he is such a good actor that whatever role you give him, he's gonna knock it out of the park. And he has so many iconic roles. Most actors maybe have one or two iconic roles. He has so many of them. Um, and like I said, the majority of the movies that I've seen with him, I genuinely like, and mostly because of him. I feel like any movie that he's in, I mean, most of them he's the starring role, but even if he's not, he still makes it like he becomes the star. Um, so Johnny Depp has to. I don't know anyone who can't who can make a list without putting him. Even if it's a top 10, you have to have him on your list. Um,
Absolutely.
uh, Number 4, sir.
Hi, 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 hi. Just because again he had such a baby face turn for me when he came out with Catch Me If You Can, and then he has had home run after home run after home run. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
I hated his guts. I hated his guts from Titanic, everything that was all gushy, the Romeo and Juliet movie. I said, no, fuck this guy, blah, blah, blah. He goes away and comes back with Catch Me If You Can. I'm like, okay, I can get behind this guy. And then comes Gangs of New York. Pretty much anything with Scorsese. Gangs of New York, The Aviator, Blood Diamond, Shutter Island, Inception. I mean, he's great in J. Edgar. I finally got to see that late last year. He's really really good. The Departed. My God, how can I forget The Departed? So he made a complete 180, but it was because he did not want to be known as that. It's like no, like I'm not just somebody who's quote to be a pretty boy. I'm a trained actor, and he really got to show his chops, and he is a talented son of a bitch. He is flawless in Blood Diamond. That's the folks, go look it up. I mean, if you want to know what Sierra Leone or just any conflict in Africa is like, watch this. Because there's something and I mean, I've yet to, and I know sacrilege because I love Scorsese so much. I need to sit down because I think my wife has it. I need to sit down and watch Wolf of Wall Street. And
I just put it on my list on Paramount Plus because I need to see it.
And the guy he's portraying is a raging piece of shit. I appreciate the hustle, give him props for getting where he is, but he is a raging piece of shit. And the Revenant, where he literally like damn near killed himself to win an Oscar, and it finally paid off. So yeah, Leo's such good shit.
Yeah, I do like Leo. I've never been the biggest fan of Leonardo DiCaprio, but I definitely want to see the Wolf of Wall Street. Gangs of New York. I've always loved that movie. So he's definitely a good actor. Just what hasn't ever been like on my top. Um, but I think part of that is because I feel like for a while there, he like everyone loved him, and I was kind of like, like.
Well,
Eh. Anyway,
as long as that wasn't the case post 2000, because he is the man, kind sir.
I'm not. I'm just saying he wasn't always my favorite.
Oh my God, you son of a bitch!
Listen, hey, you son of a bitch! Don't you call me a son of a bitch? My number four. So and there's a theme here. I like comedies. I'm a comedy guy. Some of these are pretty good with drama too. So we'll get to those. But I have to put, may he rest in peace, John Candy. I
Okay, okay.
absolutely love John Candy. Um, I laugh hysterically every time I watch any of his movies. Um, you know, he's just he has the perfect comedic timing, um, and he's a good actor too. I feel like some comedians just go for the shtick too much, um, and either they're good at being a comedian or they're good at being an actor. I think he does both very well, or did both very well. Um, and he's just one of the best. One of the best. Love John Candy. Um, I still can't believe he's gone.
Polka, 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 polka. I mean, granted, obviously he wasn't the healthiest of the bunch, out there, but still, yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, yeah. So,
If you're ever curious to, well, I say this as if like who doesn't have time to watch this? Watch him in JFK.
Okay.
He plays a Dean. Dean Edwards, who is a defense lawyer in New Orleans, and he is whatever you have seen him in, whether it be Uncle Buck, Stripes, Spaceballs, and all that stuff. He is completely opposite. For one, the hilarious part being like Dean Edwards, who was this, uh, was trying to be. It almost sounded like he was auditioning for Princess and the Frog because this is New Orleans, whatever. Dean Edwards was a very, very, very small, pudgy man, and the fact that a very, very tall, pudgy man played him was visually hilarious because I've seen documentaries of it. But he's wearing these sunglasses the entire time and smoking a cigarette like a caboose. If I give you the name of the big enchilada, then it's Bon Voyage. I mean, like a head on my plate, you dig? Kennedy is dead as it's got crab meat. You as crazy as your mama. I'm like, yes. I haven't watched that at all. I swear to God. And the only reason why I say it is because the movie JFK is like 3.5 hours long. But if you're fascinated with that story at all, no, this doesn't tell you what actually happened. No, this isn't the aha, but it is a very, 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 very good Oliver Stone movie.
Whenever I get 3.5 hours to
spare. That's what I'm saying. You got to pick and choose. Guys, I can't come to the show tonight. I have to watch the movie JFK.
It's been 3 days. I know.
I had to watch an hour in intervals, you sons of bitches. And why does so many letters on Wednesday?
Why does so many letters on Wednesday? They should have said
Wednesday. I don't give a shit. I'm going to use that joke until the day I die.
Me too.
It's not a joke. It's just a funny line. But anyway, number three. And I know for some, I mean, I'll put it this way. Real life, he seems to be very much of a but just given the art of said person, I gotta go with Christian Bale. There's so many guys that, again, if it was a top 10, but the reason why I condensed it to 5 is that, like, I need to elaborate on these guys. And I'm like, fuck, if we did the top 10 full board, like we'll be here all night, particularly the way that I explain shit. Anyway, but like I had seen, I mean, I didn't realize I knew Bale from a kid because I'm like, this son of a bitch is in Newsies? Are you shitting me? You mean to tell me Batman was a little kid singing in the streets? My goodness. But then I'd seen previews for The Machinist where he got deathly skinny. And I'm like, holy crap. And that you want to talk about a great psychological thriller. That movie is unnerving, but in a good way. Like it makes you feel something, which is what I want in a horror / suspense movie. But then, I mean, he comes out with Batman. He goes from deathly skinny to bulking up to 190 pounds, rock solid. And then from there on out, my God, he has been in some damn good flicks. If you've never seen it, it's kind of an under the radar movie, but like Out of the Furnace, he's good. He is incredible in 3:10 to Yuma with him and Russell Crowe, which Russell Crowe, had he continued on with his success, probably would have been on my list, like in the top 10, not top 5, but the top 10, because he had some bangers for a while. I mean, Gladiator, Beautiful Mind, etc. But no, Christian Bale, you had that. You have him. He's amazing in The Prestige, which, if we ever do one on directors, which Christopher Nolan is definitely on that list, whether it's a top 5 or a Rushmore. Ford versus Ferrari, The Big Short, The Fighter, which he finally won an Oscar for. He's incredible. Like again, another one where he gets deathly skinny, but he's playing a heroin addict, and he's so good, so good. It's multi-talented. I know he's not been the most pleasant human being out there, but I can't. To me, that's one where like he's an asshole, but I can appreciate the hustle of the talent.
All right. Uh, number three for me. Hey, that rhymed. Uh, Shut up. Uh, yeah, I wasn't sure if number three was where I wanted it, but it is. Another taken soon. At least I think so. Rodney Dangerfield. Fucking love this man. From Caddyshack to Ladybugs, which I feel like was an underrated movie. I loved that movie when I was a kid. I used to watch it over and over again. Um, to I think it was Back to School. I think
Back
was
to
what,
school.
yeah,
Back
Back
to
to
school.
School. Um, wasn't he? He was in Little Nicky too.
He plays the creator of hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, hey, what are you laughing at? You look like my wife, only she had more hair.
It's just he's one of those guys where he has one shtick, but it fucking works, and I don't care what it.
Go watch Rodney Dangerfield, whether it be on Johnny Carson or any time that was doing stand up. He is incredible. He is incredible. Like Caddyshack. Hey, look, it's the dance of the living dead. You know, hey, with a hair like that, you ought to get a free bowl of soup.
It was I I was torn between either putting him at my number three or Chevy Chase. Uh, I to me, I love them, but so similarly. They're obviously very different, but I and I know you have some issues with Mr. Chase, but
Oh, I do. Hilarious man, but the last 20 years, he is a raging asshole.
uh, uh, I mean the National Lampoon's Vacation movies are some of my favorite movies of all time. I watch them over and over and over again, and they never get old. Uh,
Again, but we'll say it again. Christmas Vacation, the best promo cut ever. particularly, wait, particularly when they go sledding, and he sprays that shit on the sled. He goes, "Don't try this at home, people. I am a professional."
you can't say that to me. I wasn't talking to you. I love it. But yeah, and number two, sir.
Number two. Uh, and again, this is another one where I toss it because like it could be a different day of the week, and I could put him number one, and then flip flopping whatever though. But Al Pacino, Al Pacino is a gift to cinema. From the Godfather movies, Serpico, say hello to my little friend, Scarface, and unpopular opinion, and I adore Scarface, folks. I love that movie so much. I found Carlito's Way to be better. And I know for some that's like, how can you say that? for me, the story of Carlito's Way is better than Scarface, and it's not because it's like that's the norm, like to be contrarian or anything like that. It's just somebody that lived that lifestyle goes to prison, gets out on a technicality, and is really trying to live straight, but that lifestyle is always at his back door, trying to pull him back in. Um, Heat, which has the best bank heist scene ever, 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 ever. Anybody that's never seen it, watch it. Go to that scene, and if you got surround sound, turn that shit up. It'll send shivers down your spine. Son of a Woman. I mean, I can list the catalog, and he's much like the person who is number one on my list. They said he does a lot of the same movies, but I'm like, okay, even if that's the case, he is still one of the most iconic method actors ever. From and again, he is a human meme in some cases, whatever though, but he's so good, he's so believable. So yeah, your forte is for writing some of the greatest lyrics of our time. And I quote, I read from the book of Animalized, psychotic. Hurrah!
All right. So for my number two, very similar to what you said. Any day of the week, I can switch these two. I could put number one, and or I can flip them. They're that good to me, and they're two actors that I think, at least for me, do both do good comedy work, can do serious drama stuff. We've seen a couple movies with them doing serious stuff, and they can do stand up. I one of these has one of my favorite stand up specials that I've ever seen. But anyway, number two, I gotta go. Hmm, which one do I want to put? Again, like you said, they're so interchangeable for me. I could put one, I can put one at number one now, and then like tomorrow, you know, I might flip them. I'm gonna go with Robin Williams for my number. Uh, you know, from Aladdin being the genie, Mrs. Doubtfire. Um, uh, some people I've heard don't like it, but Patch Adams.
I don't get the hate for it.
Yeah, me
I
too.
I don't get the hate for it, but because I know for some people it's spoiler when the shit after Monica Potter dies or gets killed, I should say. They thought that like that was the quote jumping the shark or falling off a cliff. I'm like, people do realize this is based on a true story, right?
Yeah,
Like like
I'm
like that you can't tell the story without that.
yeah. I mean, and he like I was saying, he can do comedy, he can do serious stuff, or you know, uh, could again one of those guys. I feel like I'm going to see him in something someday. I know it's not going to happen because unfortunately we lost him, but like it's still
Yeah.
not real to me. It's still not real to me. But I mean, you had from like I said, Patch Adams, Goodwill Hunting, um, Dead Poet Society, RV, Hook. So many, just so many good movies.
In
Uh,
Moscow on the Hudson, the Fisher
yeah,
King, where if you want to see
yep,
him go ape shit, how the Birdcage.
yeah. one movie that I actually want to watch again because I watched it when it came out in theaters and I was really young at the time, and I don't know if it was just like my ADHD and like being used to Robin Williams being a comedian, being in comedy movies, but Bicentennial Man. I want to sit down and watch that again.
Ah,
Yeah,
oh, and even something like 1 Hour Photo, which is criminally underrated. He plays
yeah,
such a great creep. He's great in Insomnia. Speaking of Al Pacino and speaking of Christopher Nolan,
yeah.
and he's perfect. I will say this is one thing I will say. He has. If I were to make a top five of this, yeah, he is in one of the worst movies I've ever seen too. As
So,
much as it pains me to say, it's called The Night Listener.
I haven't heard of that
Yeah, there's a reason why. Um, it's Macaulay. It's got Macaulay Culkin's brother in it, whatever though, and it seemed on paper it seemed like an interesting story. I was bored out of my tit.
one.
It was
Oh,
so awful.
well, it's on Hulu. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Oh, if it's on Hulu, let me know so I can put a block on it.
It is. It's on Hulu.
Oh my God. I'm going to tell her, I'm like, babe, do not flip this on. I will
Do it.
sign the, I will sign the divorce papers.
that's that's gonna be my challenge movie. You have to watch it again.
No.
All right. And number one.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. What's your
You,
number one?
you talking to me?
Well, you're the only one here. What's your number one?
Who the fuck you think you're talking to?
I'm talking to you. What's your number one?
If, if you don't know what we're talking about, then you're a fool. Uh, but Robert De Niro. I mean,
I had no idea.
yes, you did. Again, I've probably watched all of his movies the most. Again, from Heat, Godfather Part Two, Taxi Driver, Mean Streets, Raging Bull, which is to me one of the in my top five like single greatest performances ever. He, as a shoot, legit had to get shredded to be in boxing shape, and then he purposefully gained a bunch of weight to be a fat old version of Jake LaMotta, and has one of the most heart wrenching um, falls from grace in the movie when he is put into jail and he is legit banging his head on a stone wall, and it's tough to watch, but he kills it. Um, but Ronan, I won't put over so much the stuff he's done the last couple of years. I mean, meet the parents, meet the Fockers, stuff like that. That to me, that was the outlier because he can be funny. He can be funny, but bad grandpa, whatever the hell it is. I'm like, no, no. I'm like, this is Vito Corleone. This is Travis from Taxi Driver. This man's a legend. And like some people showed their kids De Niro for the first time with those shit movies. So I don't know. But yeah, like to me, like again, Bobby's I mean, my God, Goodfellas, Casino, like need I say more? Or as you said, the fellas that are good.
Yeah, that's what it is. The fellas that are good, you know.
You
Uh,
know?
so number one for me, again, love his stand up. I love again most of the movies that I've seen of him, and I've seen a lot of movies with him.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Exactly, exactly. Who else could I put at my number one except for What's his name?
Mike was it Michael Wiseau?
Oh yeah, Michael was no, it's not. He would be an honorable mention. Definitely. If we're talking about like movie writers and directors, and he's definitely on my
This is
top five.
bullshit. I did not hit her.
I did not. Oh hi Mark. Just random scenes with throwing a football for no reason.
No, a water bottle. Not that it matters, but
They're going they're going upstairs to have sex. And the kid's like, "Can I come?" What the fuck?
so that movie is such a piece of shit.
But it's so bad. If you start to watch it, you can't stop because you're just like, "What is this? This was actually made." But anyway, my number one is Jim Carrey. I absolutely, since I've been was a kid, he's been one of my favorite actors. One person that I would love to meet someday. Just to talk to him, just to um, because he's obviously great with comedy. Great with physical comedy. But he can do serious stuff too. I
Amen.
I think people don't realize how good he can be in serious stuff. And there's been a couple movies that I had never seen before with him that I absolutely loved. I just watched I Love You, Philip Morris. If you haven't seen that movie, I definitely recommend it. It's with him and Ewan McGregor. Um, he plays. They both play gay characters that fall in love, and Jim Carrey is uh, he's in and out of jail. Basically a con man. But it was a really good movie. I definitely recommend it. What one of those ones where I was going through. I think it was on HBO Max, and I came across it, and I was like, you know what, I'll flip this on and see what it is.
Oh,
But I don't.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah.
Which is, but again, one of the more original concepts to a dramedy romance. Because again, it's one of those like if you could just erase the memory of somebody, would you want to let that go?
Yeah.
Would you want to let that go? And I was actually, believe it or not, I was actually obsessed with the number 23 for a while because I thought that was good stuff. And like, to me, his opus in that genre, if you want to call it that, is Truman Show.
Oh, I love the Truman Show.
It's it's so good, and particularly because I think what does it for me is when he thinks he's getting away, he gets on the boat and they're trying desperately to stop him in every which way. He comes to the end of the dome and realizes that it's a dome, and he's punching the wall, and you can't hear him, but you could just see the agony on his face, like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It it's that's I again, that was one that I had for the longest time I had never seen, and a while back I finally sat down to watch it. I was like, why did I never watch this before?
Yeah, at the time, like I was intrigued to see it even when it came out. I mean, I saw it when it came out, of course, whatever. But I'm just like, man, this came out of left field.
Yeah, yeah, it is very good. Um, if you have not seen it, again, that's another one. I think both of us can agree is you gotta check it out. Um, but that'll I think that'll be our list.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and you must be the
The
Monopoly
Monopoly
guy.
guy.
Hey, thanks for the free parking.
Your balls are showing.
Bubblebee tuna.
But we tuna. Chicago.
My, aren't I the popular one? Now allow me to introduce my displays of affection. Again, I don't care what anybody says. Him punching that guy in the face and putting him on his back, dancing with him, still one of the funniest scenes I've ever watched. La, 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 la. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I love when he comes out of the rhino and the kid's like, "Mommy, mommy."
That fucking, oh my god, that scene is so disturbing because he's like flipping back and forth. And he's taking off all of his clothes because it's hotter and fucking there, and he has that warm.
I couldn't help but he come call me White Devil again. That's how they know you.
Or when he's for the record, I think the first one's better, but the first one was better, but the second one was funnier just because it was
Yeah.
outwardly silly. But when he's spanking it, and the hefty dude comes in, whatever, and he goes, "I'm just practicing my mantra. If I don't finish, I tend to get a little cranky."
I love when he's coming down the stairs with the slinky. Everyone loves the
It's a
slinky.
slinky, and it gets down
Go,
to the last.
Slinky, go.
It gets to the last step and it stops.
Oh,
Oh,
right
oh,
at the end.
can, can we do it again? I was like, I'm sorry, Mr. Ventura, we must be going. I forgot. Let's do all the things you want to do.
There's somebody on the wing. Some big peanuts. I have my own.
I have my own. Thank you. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I think that'll do it. So do we wanna give the challenge to each other now? I'm,
Sure.
you know what? I'm. What movie did we both say we wanted to watch?
I'm not telling you.
Well, obviously, I'm going to challenge you to watch The Room
I have.
again. Every
Here's
time,
my review. Here's my review. Bad dubbing, unintentionally hilarious, and high mark.
so good. So good. No,
I hear 2 thumbs up.
I think for the first one we should both watch The Wolf of Wall Street
Yes.
since we both want to watch it.
Yes.
So anyway, to kind of give you guys an idea of what we're talking about, every week we're going to kind of give each other a challenge of a movie to watch, and then come back the following week and give our thoughts on it. Just to kind of, you know, uh, mess with each other a little bit, but kind of see our, maybe if it's a movie I've seen that Adam hasn't seen, kind of see what he thought of it, or if there's a movie that I haven't seen that he has, or even if there's a movie we've both seen, but we still kind of want to see what we think about it. It's if it's a movie we haven't seen in a while, but something different that I haven't seen any channels that review movies really do,
Right.
and I think it'd be fun. So the first one we'll do is The Wolf of Wall Street, and next Monday, we'll talk about it and write a 10-page essay on it. I don't know.
It's my understanding that there would be no writing.
I told you there was a single space 10-page with references. But anyway, that'll be it for this episode. Episode Thor. Thor. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Thor because I still think it was 3. He thinks it's 4. I think it's Thor. But we'll be back for that. I think tomorrow we should be doing the Instant Classic Wrestling podcast, possibly talking about Slammiversary.
No.
No,
If
no,
there, what is the one topic that has happened this week that we have to talk about?
Slammiversary. AJ Styles not being at Slam. I'm still pissed at that. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but hey, he did a video package. But you know who didn't? Samoa Joe.
True.
No, but I was going to say is we got to talk about the McMahon situation.
We gotta talk about the dumpster fire that's happening. You're right.
That's what I was saying that like to me like this is goes even beyond wrestling.
Yeah, and now I'm hearing that there's more women that he paid off.
Yeah,
What?
again, like to me, like that's what we gotta dive into.
Okay, so we'll do that. But anyway, we will be back. So be sure to follow us on all of our social media at ICW_podcast. That's where we still don't post anything. We should, but we'll try. We'll try. We really will. We won't.
We really won't.
We've tried. It's just it's difficult. It really is. But we will see you on the flippity dippity.
Ooh, yeah.
Dig it.